if you were a particle.
Frosted tip.
I have no clue what's going on.
No, do not do that.
I'm really struggling. What was that spark?
I'll be in the A-level curriculum.
Nobody should be doing this. It's fine if you do it though.
that kind of big crunch coming together.
Einstein came back to life.
I've never seen Interstellar. Newton's
Fine.
kind of weird, right?
Is
And
it?
I'm nearly 67.
No, no.
Welcome to the first edition of
The Critical Angle.
Let It Then, a podcast where your hosts, myself, Rahima, Misha, and Tashvi, this guy, the science ambassadors, delve deep into the world of science and scientists alike. Whether you are a science lover or just curious about how things work, you are in the right place. Today is a very special day where we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. McCarron.
Hello. Thank you for the welcome.
Yes. Before we continue, just a little fun fact about McCarronism. Well, the name McCarron is of Irish Scottish origin, derived from Gaelic Mac Carcannimcon and McCarron. McCarron means son of Carrington, which is a personal name meaning short calf. And McCarron means son of Karen, meaning little dark one. Both names were anglicised to McCarron over time.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. McCarron, please introduce yourself for the listeners who don't know you, your career position and your areas of expertise.
Wow, no areas of expertise. I am the head of science here at ISZN. I'm also the deputy head of safeguarding at ISZN. I teach physics to all of you. I've also taught maths. I can teach lower school biology. That's probably my areas of expertise, I would say. Even though that feels weird to say.
Amazing. So, about your career, what is your career journey? Can you take us through your process of how you became a physics teacher, why you chose physics?
So, my dad was a physics teacher as well, which I think I've mentioned in class before. My dad was a physics teacher. So when I was kind of deciding on careers, I said, I was thinking about teaching. And he said, no, do not do that. Never do this. So I got to the second year of university. I was doing a maths and physics degree and didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was offered the chance to teach and get paid a little bit to do that over the summer. So I did that and then I started enjoying it. And then I decided to go and train as a teacher. So I trained as a teacher in England for a year. And then I got offered a job in Switzerland at another international school straight away. So I didn't really do much time in England. I came straight over here. I spent 7 years in Switzerland. And then last year I joined ISZN, where I met all of you.
Nice.
So that's pretty much my journey so far.
So why physics?
I think like a lot of physicists, which I'm surrounded by, you have a talent for mathematics maybe early, and then you realise that you can do something that's maybe a little bit more interesting than just mathematical equations. You can see how they're applied, you can see how they're used. My dad obviously doing it was a big inspiration, and then kind of speaking to different people around my age group and my friend group, we all had kind of an interest in it. The other reason really was I didn't know what to do. So a lot of you are in grade 12 at the moment. You probably don't have an idea of what you want to do fully yet. So I just picked the two subjects that I liked the most. So I did maths and physics at A-level, and then I still couldn't decide what to do, so I did maths and physics at university. And then I actually trained as a maths and physics teacher as well. So I still couldn't decide, even up until the very final point where I was supposed to choose. So yeah, that's pretty much my...
Interesting. And about teaching, like, what was that spark that you realized, oh yeah, let's try this out? What about teaching is so fascinating for you?
So I remember a moment I was probably about your age, maybe I was in grade 11. I was in grade 11 or 12 in an A-level physics class, and I had a friend of mine who sat next to me who was having difficulty with the question, so I tried to explain it to them in the same way I would explain to guys. So I didn't just tell him, put this number in the calculator, do this. Tried to ask, well, what do we have in the question? What sort of things can we do? What equation do we have? And then when he got the answer, he said, that was really weird, you told me without telling me. And that kind of made me think, okay, well, that was kind of fun to lead this person along where they don't really know where they're going, but they get to the right place. So that was something where I kind of thought, maybe I quite like teaching. So I went home and spoke to my dad and said, I kind of think I like this. He said, no, don't do this. Oh. So it was very kind of, it's not what you think it is. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of this, which is true. But I kind of pushed through that, and then when I started doing it, I was very lucky to get opportunities from some charities, which are for physics teachers to support the kind of shortage that's in England. So I got that when I was doing my training. England. And then I left England, so sorry. So that's maybe not their plan for that, but it was really beneficial for me. Yeah.
Would you continue teaching for the rest of your life? Or would you try something else?
I don't know. Right now I'm enjoying it. I think I think every teacher has points where they think, okay, maybe I could go and do something else, but I like the routine, I like the rhythm, I like meeting new students, I like that cycle of, especially now that, I'm in this school. At my previous school, there were a lot of students where I would teach them in grade 9, and I would teach them all the way through to grade 12 when they finished, and that's hopefully going to happen here as well. So there's a few cool things like that which I like. So for now I'm enjoying it. I don't look too far ahead, so
okay.
I think for the time being, I think that's good.
That's nice.
No, and when you were mentioning that you were explaining to the friend, that's exactly how I feel during your lessons. It's so weird because I have no clue what's going on. And then, listen.
We'll cut that.
No, for example, there's this topic I don't understand, and I'm asking you this question, how do you? I don't understand this, and it's like you enter my brain and you understand exactly what I don't understand, and you just guide me through exactly blindly, and it always works. So really props.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's really cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What other questions do we have? Well, okay.
You have a huge packet of questions.
Okay. Who would win in a fight to the death? Okay. Planck versus Fleming.
That's an easy one.
Planck versus Fleming.
Yeah.
As in the physicist.
Yes.
Planck and Fleming.
Yeah. Quick fire.
Planck.
Okay.
What?
Rutherford versus Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr.
Okay. Coulomb versus Faraday.
Faraday.
Galileo or Newton? That's a tricky one, I know.
Galileo.
Yeah, he was in prison.
Yeah.
He
Newton's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Okay, nice. And, well, right now we're all, doing A-levels and we're struggling and everything. And you were there too, right?
I was.
You were doing A-levels. So, if you could go back, what would you tell yourself while you saw yourself struggling with A-levels? What would you tell yourself?
I would say just do as much practice as possible, really. I think the A-level is... I like the A-level a lot as a course, but I think it is quite... prescriptive is maybe the wrong word. I think if you just do lots and lots of practice...
Repeat.
Yeah, I think if they repeat a lot of questions, I think there's a structure. That's one of the things I try to do with my lessons, is try to do the content as concisely as possible and give us as much time to practice, because even though it's not the most exciting thing, it's probably the most beneficial thing for the A-level. So I would just say to do that. I think the first year of my A-levels I didn't work as hard as maybe I would have wanted. And we were doing the exams modularly, so we did them as we went through. So I ended up having to redo a lot of mine in grade 12 because I just hadn't taken it as seriously. I knew I had another chance and things. So that's not something we have here, because we do it kind of in a linear approach mostly. But I think I resat a lot of exams, and that made my second year really stressful. I think I had 14 or 15 exams in the summer of the second year. So some of those were resitting to try and to boost the percentage a little bit to help the average, but some of those were resitting because they hadn't gone well the first time. So I think that kind of thing, not taking it seriously at the start, added a lot of pressure that maybe I didn't need.
Speaking of that, during student times, like, you know, a lot of people can be complacent, what you said, and everything. So how do you deal with, like, difficult students? How do you have that approach to motivate them? Do you ever think you should give up on a student? Stuff like that, like...
No,
Yeah.
I don't see that. I think there are... Students are there for a reason. So sometimes that's the right reason, sometimes that's the wrong reason. Sometimes they're there because they really want to do the subject and they're interested in it and they want to go on and be an engineer or they want to go on and be a computer scientist or something like that. They want to do that. Sometimes they're in there because their parents want them to be an engineer, or sometimes they're in there because their parents want them to be a doctor, or they want them to study physics so they can tell their friends. And that can be challenging to motivate when there's no motivation coming from the student.
Yeah.
Depending on their relationship with their parents, you can sort of say, you know, your parents want you to do really well, we're here to help you, all that sort of stuff. But I think a lot of that has to come from the student implicitly. But I think nobody does better if you criticize them constantly. You know, somebody can do better if you give them a bit of feedback and you say, you know, we've tried it your way for these 3 months, it hasn't worked, let's try it my way for a bit and we'll see how we go. But I don't think putting huge amounts of pressure on a student to do something, I've never seen that work as well as kind of being supportive. So that's kind of my approach, I think.
Do you think your parents were more like strict with, you choose this A level and if not?
No, I think they were quite supportive. They just said do what you want to do. They didn't really impact my choices at all, to be honest. I think obviously my dad was an influence with doing physics, so that was it was something I wanted to do. But it wasn't like they were just quite frank with it. They were like, you need to do something you enjoy, and you need to probably do something that's going to get you a job at some point. You know, and I never had any artistic talents or anything like that, so that wasn't even a question of, you know, do I choose the arts or do I go into this thing? It was never a question.
Were you ever thinking of becoming like a physicist?
Yeah, I think everybody who does a physics degree thinks
like
I'll become a physicist and I'll solve this thing and that'll be me done and I'll be in the A-level curriculum and it'll be great and all that stuff. And I think I got to my second year, maybe halfway through my second year, or even the start of my third year at university, and then I just kind of realised that, and I think you do have this moment where everybody around you gets it really quickly, and you're nowhere near.
Like
and that
from
was
subject
point of view, yeah. So that happened to me, and a lot of people have that a little bit earlier, a lot of people have that a little bit later, but it took a while for me to get in that point where I realised, because I went to quite a small all-boys secondary school, not small, kind of 1,000 students, all-boys secondary school, and out of those boys there was kind of a small percentage who did A-level physics, and I was pretty strong in that class. I was like second or third, probably on average, and did pretty well because I worked hard. And you go to university and there's people who are leagues better than you, and you think, okay, so there's 300 people on this course, I'm probably bottom half, and there's maybe 10 positions for a professorship or a master's position or something. Okay, that doesn't seem possible. So
sometimes
I thought
you
about
gotta be realistic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wasn't, and I didn't work maybe as hard as I wanted to at university. I probably regret that a bit more than the A-level, but I wasn't motivated enough to do it, to work hard enough to do it. I think I wanted to do it in the sense of, I'll do this degree and I'll go and do this thing, but did I really want to do that? Probably not, if I didn't work that hard. So once I realised teaching was an option, and then I kind of saw that and thought, okay, well, I do enjoy that interaction. I enjoy talking about the subject. That's maybe a path we can go down.
Why do you think people should go to university or should not? I don't know.
I think it depends on the person, to be honest. I think if you want to go into... I would look at what career you're interested in. If that career needs a degree, that's something you should go and probably pursue. But I think if you're interested in something more applied, so I have friends who are accountants, I have friends who work in advertising or like social media management and things like that, and they didn't really need a degree to go into that, so they've started working and then they're 4 years ahead of somebody who's just finished a degree who comes out and applies for the position.
Yeah.
And they're already
Yeah.
making money, they're already getting promotions maybe, so you don't have to, but I think if you want to go and study something to a deeper level to understand it, then it's beneficial. I also think if you're not sure what to do, it's a good thing just to pick your favourite subject and go and get a degree in that. Because the main purpose of a degree is to prove to an employer or to a business partner or somebody like that that you can stick at something for 3 years. Because it's not going to be fun for 3 years. It's not, I promise.
I have a question about what you said before about becoming a physicist versus a teacher. Of course, we're very grateful that you became a teacher, but if you had the opportunity to like work on this like huge project, would you give up teaching?
It would depend what the project is.
It's something that you're
It's
really
like-
interested in. It's like really top-notch physics.
Einstein came back to life and he's like, yo,
He's like,
come
I
work
need
with
you.
me. Yeah.
I don't know. I think confidence would be an issue with that probably. I don't think. I wouldn't feel like I belonged in that room. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I could go.
But they want you.
They want me
They
specifically.
were searching all
Well, if Einstein wants me specifically, then
let's say
I
it's
can't
like
really
just
argue.
his brain in a jar.
Oh,
And he's just
okay.
like, it's still
Like
functional,
Fallout
he
kind
can
of thing.
talk, but he's like in a jar. And he's like, alright, Mr. McCarron, come.
I mean, I can't say no to Einstein, so yeah, probably I would. Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I'd give up lightly. There'd have to be probably. There'd have to be a pretty big thing that would happen that'd make me leave teaching probably. And I think even if I did, so when I changed jobs a couple of years ago, if I didn't find a job, my plan was to just do tutoring for a little while. So even then, I still would have been doing teaching stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Who was your inspiration to study physics at university? Or was it just because you were good at it?
My dad was probably a bit of an inspiration, but I think it did just come down to I was good at maths. I was lucky enough to be good at maths, and that's because my parents took a lot of time when I was younger to kind of drill in the foundational like times tables and all that sort of stuff. And then when you go through secondary school, you realise, okay, this is a bit of science which is just maths, and it's actually pretty. I've had a good feeling with it straight away. In university, I was probably more of a mathematician, so my dissertation was on maths. Because my course was mathematical physics was the title, which is kind of a fancy name for triangles for 5 years, pretty much. So it was 50% maths, 50% physics. So it was like half of the degree. So I did courses with the pure mathematicians, I did courses with the physicists, and I was probably more of a mathematician in university. And then when it came to my teaching degree, I decided to do physics and maths.
Interesting.
To do that.
Yeah. But, right, I was thinking about recently, and like all these sciences, well, obviously it's research and everything, but in a way it's like a stimuli for our own reality, right? So, could science be considered as a religion?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. No, I don't. I think. I don't know what the definition of religion is. Do you have
something,
the
I guess in a way something like a belief system.
Yeah.
I don't think you believe in science. Like science proves itself. I think there are anything that we say is concrete. We have proof for. So even like the Big Bang theory, even though it's a theory, we have things that lead us toward that theory. We were talking about that atomic model with the Rutherford model with the alpha scattering experiment the other day, and like that's the observations from that experiment lead you to these conclusions, and that leads you to what the model should be. So it's not really a belief; it's about seeing that thing.
Okay.
Some of the weirder bits, like the quantum stuff, you do kind of have to have some
It's like-
belief in. I think,
That's what
which
I'm
is
saying.
the problem. So I think there's some of that where you do, but that's probably more a trust than a belief, where it's, do I understand fully what Dirac is doing? No, I don't really, but I kind of trust.
So it's like
I trust
it's
his
like
work.
a semi-religion.
Yeah, it's kind of a it's a.
You
It's
trust the process.
It's probably faith in the process and faith in people rather than faith in this thing.
Okay.
This kind of physics
This-
works
yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
way. You know what I mean?
You mentioned black holes. that leads me on to my next question. Black holes.
Well, quantum.
Big Bang Theory is
Big
what I
Bang
meant.
Theory.
Yeah.
You mentioned Big Bang Theory. What is your favorite theory of how the universe started?
My favourite. Oh, God.
Yeah, not what you think is the
It does-
most
yeah.
plausible.
Just
My
the-
favourite.
Your
I
favourite, the
like
most interesting.
I like science fiction and stuff, so I like the whole there's a big bang where it expands and then there's a big crunch where it comes back together and then that
Mhm.
kind of resets over
Mhm.
time. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a cool thing in terms of if you want to go into the spiritual stuff that can explain deja vu and things like that, like it's multiple
Right.
universe kind of thing, but that's very kind of
Mm-hmm.
hand wavy crystals, that sort of thing. So I wouldn't say that's the most accurate, but that one's kind of cool to me because I like
Mhm.
Yeah, that-
science fiction films.
So
and
you
things
don't
like that.
think like you don't like the big freeze or whatever, right, about the universe ending?
I mean, I think that would be that kind of big crunch coming together would be that universe ending and then another one restarting.
Mhm.
I would think, but it's very very hand wavy, very kind of general.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. You said about science films, right? So you're,
Yeah.
you're, I don't know, lover, enjoyer.
Yeah.
But imagine, right? You have a test the next day, and you have to watch a movie that teaches you all about physics. Which
Okay.
one would it be if you had to choose? Like, which one is the most?
The most accurate.
Yeah.
So there's a test the next day on that
As-
film.
yeah.
Or
No,
on-
No,
on
on
physics.
physics.
On
Oh,
physics,
okay.
And you have
yeah.
to like watch a movie, a science fiction movie, to understand physics.
Mhm.
I mean, probably. I know Interstellar's quite good. I've never seen Interstellar,
Oh.
so I don't know. That's probably where you're going. I've heard that's quite good. I don't know that, so maybe I would watch that and be brave. I like. It's not really science fiction, but there's the old interviews with Richard Feynman are always very good, where he's explaining things to camera and kind of.
Richard Feynman.
He's wonderful. We'll talk about him a little bit in the next couple of weeks in class because we do a little bit of stuff about him. But he's a brilliant physicist and kind of an in between man. So maybe not the most brilliant man personally. Some people would say, but he's fantastic, and I think the way he explained things is something that really resonates with me. So I think I'd probably watch interviews with him and then try and remember as much as I could for the next day.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
If you were a particle, would you?
Would I be positive or negative?
No.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Would you be accelerated using a cyclotron or a line?
Oh, I like the Lilac.
Really?
like the
I like the Lilac a
You'll get
lot.
dizzy.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
cyclotron.
I don't like rides and things, so I wouldn't like to go around in
Oh,
circles.
yes,
I like the
yes.
Lilac. The Linac's a linear accelerator, so it's just nice and
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
very precise.
No, for me, definitely in cyclotron.
Cyclotron.
Let's
Oh,
go.
wow.
Because you have two fields at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah, which is cool. No, I like the.
You know. It's,
Yeah.
I do now.
And okay, next question. I think everybody has been waiting for you to actually say it.
Oh no.
So, what is the mass of a proton?
Is it 1.66 or 1.67?
1.67 times 10 to the minus 27.
You heard it.
It's
Yeah.
not 1.6.
No, it's 1.67.
Yesterday you said it was 1.66.
1.66 is you, the atomic unit. That's the average mass. It's you. It's you. Well, me. It's you. Yeah.
So what's the mass again?
I'm not there. That's what I did.
Yes.
You gotta be a secondary school teacher. You gotta know this. Even primary do it as well.
Everybody does
Everybody
this.
does
You're like, the toddlers too now. They're
And it's unavoidable because it's the consecutive numbers.
Yeah.
It's not like 69 over 20 where you can avoid it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. Now a bit more about we're on our teens, 6, 7s, and everything. What was it?
And I'm nearly 67.
What was it like growing up in the 2000s? Did you also
Yeah.
have some
Oh
kind
god,
of
makes me feel so old.
no? That's genuinely like, quite young.
Okay. What was your question? Sorry.
How was it like? You know, life.
Growing up in
You
the
know.
2000s, you know?
It was. I didn't really. I mean, I don't know any difference, so it didn't.
Like the music, the styles, the
Yeah, it was.
films.
I mean, I wasn't very cool, so I don't.
You
really...
didn't have frosted
Frosted
tips.
tips. No, I just didn't. No, I didn't have hair much for very long. No, it was good. I had good friends. I went to a good school. I had a good family. I was kind of boring, really.
Really?
Yeah, which surprises you as a physics teacher, I'm sure. But no, yeah, it wasn't like I probably wasn't in the culture of the time. I was into kind of 80s music and 90s films and 80s films.
What kind of music?
So, like rock music and
Like,
kind of
give
all
some
sorts.
examples.
I like Queen and
Mhm.
AC/DC and Motorhead and I was trying to think what I was listening to on the way to work.
Okay, what were you listening to? Can we see your Spotify?
No. There's all sorts on there. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Some heavier stuff as well, like Megadeth and like metal music and
Wow.
things like that I like. Yes.
So do you think like back then everything was like better, like film, even like politics and stuff? Do you think it was better back then than it is now?
I think everybody has that when they get older. They think, oh, okay, things have changed and it's different, but that's because it's not. The culture isn't 6-7 isn't aimed at me. You know, I think that's pretty clear. But I think the culture of the time is always aimed at younger people. I think younger people, Jesus. And I think when
He's only 30,
I
by
am
the way.
30, yeah. But I think when you get out of touch with that thing, that's quite a good thing. That means it's adapted to the people that it's actually aimed at.
And what about, like during the 2000s, the internet was kind of just starting. It was growing its roots out.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, now it's like completely different. I feel like, I wasn't there back in the day, but I feel like the internet was just kind of this one singular corner in your or house.
That's exactly what it was.
Like you have the one computer, and it was like kind of the escape from reality.
Yeah.
But now, because it's everywhere, you kind of have to escape from the internet. You know?
Yeah.
It's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely. I think it's really challenging for you guys, even for me with my phone, to kind of put it down in the evening and things like that. I think I was probably the last generation that didn't have it when they were children. You know, so I think I think I got my first phone that could access the internet when I was like 14, 15, something like that. So that kind of shows how quickly it's changed. That's only 15 years ago-ish. So that's scary.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So do you think we're in some sort of simulation in today's world?
Yeah.
Are we in a simulation?
You mean like the Matrix or like?
Yeah.
Anything.
No, I don't think so.
No.
You think we're real?
Are you
I
sure?
think we're real.
Okay.
I choose to believe we're real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a little question about.
Because if this is a simulation, that means that means that this is what one of us wants to do, and the other three of us are robots.
No, we're all robots.
That means we're all... No, but then...
But that means this is what someone wants us to do.
And surely this is not what people want.
I just know. We'll find out. Tell us. Tell us in the comments. So.
They're watching.
They're watching.
The Big
They're
Brother.
watching.
He's watching. Well, a bit more, I don't know, personal or like just like a thought about it. Do you think there's some kind of scientific explanation for love?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Miss Cook will be one to ask about that,
Okay.
I would say.
We'll
As the
ask her.
biology teacher,
Yeah,
I have no clue.
True.
Well, you could tell me as you're a biologist.
No, I don't think there's
Okay.
scientific explanation.
Okay.
Do you think... Wait, but I have a question. Do you think it's just like chemicals, or do you think there's like actual like wavelengths people give off that like some people like, I like those wavelengths? You know
I
what
don't
mean?
think people give off wave. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the most spiritual. Maybe is probably the way to describe
So
it.
how do you look at it then? It's just like, oh, it's just what happens.
Just
chemicals.
chemicals, hormones. something.
Maybe, yeah. I probably don't look at it scientifically. Weirdly.
Pull out the equation.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
L equals O. V to the
I can't say it's anything I've ever thought about. To be honest, so
You
I'm-
haven't, and you're married. Wow.
I am married. Yeah, I
Wow.
didn't think. I don't know. I didn't consider it a wavelength.
Your
when I
wife's
was
never
deciding
asked
to
you?
she's never asked about my wavelengths. No, I'm afraid. No. Maybe we need.
You know, all women, they just look at like wavelengths.
The wavelengths.
Just the
Okay.
wavelengths.
I need to. We need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
There.
Maybe you could be the first one who finds out an equation about it.
There you go.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah,
that could be my big break.
Yeah. Breakthrough. Do you have any style inspiration?
Style inspiration? I think clearly not. No.
Okay.
No. It's not something I.
But I respect the consistency. You know, it's
It's jumper and
very
jeans.
professional.
Jumper and jeans and
No,
suits
but
and
okay, I
boots.
have a question. How do you do that in the summer?
That's a good question.
I just do. I don't know.
You don't get like really, really hot.
No.
Seriously, like you don't just ever consider I'm just gonna wear a shirt today.
I mean, I wear button-up shirts sometimes. Yeah.
In the summer, he wears like it's still like jumpers,
no,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
See him
I remember-
I like that I have a
walking around.
reputation for this. I don't know if this is.
Who would be your style inspiration?
I
If you-
don't.
no.
I couldn't even name a person. I don't know.
Feynman.
Feynman, yeah,
Feynman.
jumpers. Okay,
Exactly.
Feynman.
Exactly.
Jumpers and bongos. That's about it. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I have
Yeah.
a question. Have you worn wigs?
Have you all? No, I haven't worn wigs.
But will you wear wigs?
I know this reference. No, I
When
will
will you wear wigs?
I will not.
You would not? Okay. So we had a little technical difficulties. Half of it wasn't recording. We're sorry, but I still hope you enjoyed our first ever.
Edition of the Critical Angle.
How
Brought to you by NordVPN.
NordVPN sponsors. Download Honey. And all these cool apps that are sponsored. Yes. Mr. McCarron,
Really got me.
thank you.
It was
Thank
great
you so
having
much.
you.
It was a
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
Thank
lovely
you.
seeing you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
See you in the next episode.